The average person today manages nearly 170 passwords, 170 tiny keys scattered across the digital landscape, each one unlocking a fragment of who you are. Some used every day, others abandoned, but still quietly alive, still quietly yours. Your data is everywhere. It is no longer a record you keep. It is a residue you leave. Like fingerprints on glass, invisible until the light catches them. It began quietly. The early internet was like a library, silent. You searched, you read, you published. But then it changed. It became the social web, less a library, more a plaza. No longer pages to visit, but spaces to inhabit. We learned to share. First our photographs, then our daily thoughts, and eventually our location, sometimes in real time. With each disclosure, the image sharpened. 347 billion emails are sent each day, more than 1.8 trillion images uploaded each year, and in our pockets, more than 10,000 photographs each. Not just memories, but fragments of identity. Convenience made us casual. We signed up, we shared, we clicked, I agree, because it was easy, because it felt harmless. And in that ease, privacy became lighter, not gone, simply forgotten. Then came the smartphone era. The internet slipped into our hands, and the flow of data became constant. Our cameras, our movements, our locations, all uploaded by default. Today, the digital native is fluent in disclosure. Games request birthdays, apps demand faces, platforms track our movements invisibly. It has become routine, a background hum of surrender. Yet what we treat as ordinary, companies treat as treasure. Data is no longer information. It is currency, a market worth hundreds of billions each year. And now, another shift. Not just the social web, not just the smartphone, but the age of AI. We no longer merely type into systems. We speak to them. Chatbots, smart agents, companions made of code. They do not just collect facts, they learn patterns. Your tone of voice, your way of thinking, the contours of your doubt. None of this disappears. It must be stored. It must be trained, which means it must come from somewhere, from you. We are building digital shadows we cannot see. They are precise, predictive, persistent, and in some ways, they are more valuable than us. They do not forget. They do not misplace. They do not resist. The danger is not theft. It is transparency, a future where nothing is left unseen. What happens in a world without privacy, without the quiet spaces of self? Freedom begins to thin. Without private thought, dissent becomes impossible. Identity begins to flatten. When every action is logged, we are reduced to predictable patterns. Trust begins to erode. When nothing can be hidden, intimacy loses its meaning. A world without privacy is not a world without lies. It is a world without shadows. And without shadows, there can be no depth. Consider a child at play, their birthday, their voice, their patterns of interaction, all stored, all tracked, all shaping a file that grows as they grow. Take yourself, for instance. Every search, every message, every location pinged. Together they form a diary, more honest than the one you keep in a drawer. Except this diary does not belong to you. We confused convenience with safety. We believed that because technology made life simple, it also made it harmless. But simplicity was the sugar, and the cost was privacy. There is still time to rethink, to treat data not as exhaust, but as essence, because it is not trivial. It is not light. It is you. Perhaps the answer is not to stop sharing, but to learn control, to decide if the data we release is truly worth the trade, to read the fine print we've ignored, to configure the settings we once left on default. Because the end of privacy is not inevitable, it is a choice. And the choice begins with attention. At least for now. What happens when intelligence begins to ask not just what it can do, but whether it should? This is not fiction. Machines are already making decisions that ripple through lives, quietly, invisibly. But can they truly discern what is right? Or are we giving immense power to systems that cannot grasp the weight of consequence? Welcome to our void, a space where clarity meets complexity. Today, we explore whether AI is developing a moral compass and ask a more honest question. Is it even capable of such understanding? Or are we simply projecting our values into something that cannot feel them? Can it ever truly possess morality? A threshold has already been crossed. AI is making ethical decisions. Today, it decides who is hired, who receives opportunity, who is watched, and who is judged. These systems are not born neutral. They are trained on us, our preferences, our patterns, and our prejudices. So when they discriminate, is that the machine's failure or ours? And when accountability is blurred between creator, code, and culture, who do we hold responsible? Before we give AI a conscience, we must understand our own. But as humans, we still debate what morality even is. Do we measure by outcomes? Or do we adhere